The envelope on my desk should have contained another stack of overdue invoices. Instead, it held a handwritten note from the most powerful woman in our company, asking me to meet her on the top floor, immediately. I had spent 3 years blending into the background as an ordinary financial analyst in Chicago, Illinois, trying to rebuild my life after my father's illness, drained every dollar my family had saved. I thought I was walking into a meeting that would end my career. I never imagined I would walk out pretending to be the fiancé of our CEO. If stories about kindness, hope, forgiveness, compassion, and second chances mean something to you, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes in the good people can do, leave a thoughtful comment, and subscribe, so you never miss another heartfelt story. My name is Nathan, and until that afternoon, I believed my life was invisible. My coworkers barely noticed me. I arrived early, stayed late, and quietly helped anyone who needed it without expecting recognition. My mother, Grace, had always told me that character was what remained after success disappeared. Those words stayed with me through every difficult season, especially after losing my father. I kept working because someone had to keep our family standing. The CEO, Victoria, was famous throughout the company for her impossible standards and quiet confidence. She wasn't cruel, but she carried herself like someone who had forgotten what it meant to rest. When I entered her office, the skyline stretched behind her, yet she looked more exhausted than successful. She confessed that her grandfather's 80th birthday celebration was that evening. Every influential member of her family would be there, including relatives who had spent years pressuring her to marry. She had finally told them she was engaged simply to stop the endless questions. Unfortunately, they wanted to meet the man. She explained that she had watched employees for years. She didn't choose the loudest, the most handsome, or the most ambitious. She chose the one person she believed would never take advantage of her vulnerability. Somehow, that person was me. Everything inside me wanted to refuse. I wasn't an actor. I wasn't wealthy. I certainly didn't belong beside a woman whose photograph appeared on business magazines. But I also saw something unexpected in her eyes. Beneath the polished executive was someone carrying loneliness heavier than any financial report. That evening, I borrowed my older brother Samuel's suit and drove to a beautiful estate outside the city. The mansion overflowed with elegant guests, polished smiles, and conversations about investments and luxury vacations. I felt completely out of place, yet Victoria never allowed me to feel small. Every introduction came with genuine respect, never embarrassment. For the first time in years, someone with power treated me like an equal instead of an employee. The evening almost collapsed when her cousin began asking detailed questions about our relationship. Every answer felt like walking across thin ice. Then something unexpected happened. Victoria's grandfather quietly asked everyone to leave him alone with us. I expected another interrogation. Instead, the elderly man smiled warmly. He admitted he already knew there was no engagement. He had watched his granddaughter pretend to be strong for so many years that he recognized the difference between performance and peace. What surprised him wasn't the lie. It was the way Victoria looked at me whenever she thought no one was watching. He told her that success meant very little if it cost her the chance to trust another human being. Those words changed the entire night. On the drive back to Chicago, neither of us spoke much. The silence wasn't uncomfortable anymore. It felt honest. Over the following months, our relationship returned to professional boundaries, but something had shifted. She began asking about my family. I learned about the sacrifices she had made after losing her parents at a young age. We discovered that our greatest similarities had nothing to do with careers. We were both people who believed taking care of everyone else was easier than admitting we needed someone ourselves. One winter morning, I arrived at work expecting another ordinary day. Instead, Victoria announced a new employee assistance program that would help workers facing medical emergencies and financial hardship. She quietly admitted that my story had reminded her why companies should care about people before profits. Watching coworkers receive help that once would have changed my own family's life became more meaningful than any promotion. Months later, there was another family gathering. This time, there was no pretending. No rehearsed stories. No borrowed suit. We arrived together because we genuinely wanted to. Her grandfather greeted me with the same gentle smile and whispered that truth always had better timing than fear. I realized then that the fake engagement had never been about fooling a family. It had been about two wounded people discovering that real strength isn't found in titles or wealth. It grows when someone finally sees you for who you are and decides that you are enough. Before we reach the end of this story, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment and tell us, do you believe unexpected moments can completely change a person's future, or has something similar happened in your own life? If this story touched your heart, inspired you, or reminded you that kindness can appear in the most unexpected places, please support the channel by liking this video, sharing it with someone who needs a little hope today, and subscribing for more heartfelt stories. Sometimes, the greatest love stories don't begin with perfect plans. Sometimes they begin with one impossible favor, one act of trust, and one ordinary person who simply chooses to be kind.